welcome to my daily ramble. I hope you're all well. What we're going to talk about today? Well, bit of West Ham, bit of England. So we'll start with West Ham first. But before we do, as always, if you're new to the channel, please drop a like on it if you enjoy the video. It's not going to be the cheeriest of videos, but nonetheless, if you enjoy the content, please drop a like on it because it does help us. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Subscribe, it really helps us. So, West Ham, we was all kind of looking forward to a bit of a break. This isn't going to be the cheeriest of videos, to be quite honest, so I apologise in advance. Yes, back to that previous point, we was all expecting the World Cup break to bring us a break, really, but the football for England is, well, it's not been great, but, you know, we've topped the group, we've gone through, that's fine, but the West Ham doom train just keeps on rolling round, doesn't it? It's been a bit shit, really. Obviously, we had stories break in the past week or two in relation to the prospective sale of West Ham, and we've learnt that the owners that were being lined up may now be interested more so in Liverpool and Man United, who have both been put on sale, placed up for sale in the past few weeks. So that's a bit of a bummer. It doesn't mean there's not going to be any other buyers there, but the rumours are that the buyers, well, one of the buyers in particular, Jim Ratcliffe, I think there's been quite a lot of work done with this guy, and I think it was almost it was felt that this guy was going to be the next owner. It's not saying that he's not going to be, but like I say, the Man United and Liverpool situations have certainly complicated things, no doubt. In addition to that, you know, we got news that Kurt Zouma, he's gone and got himself he got himself injured. Well, he didn't get himself injured in the Leicester game. I think we can all see that he's been carrying an injury all season. I think he's been playing with an injury. But what the club did pathetically badly, which is what they always bloody seem to do, is they played Zouma with an injury. He broke down in the warm up against Leicester, and Aguerd was stripped and ready to go. He was going to come on a pitch, and then all of a sudden Zouma re-emerges, and then 12 to 15 minutes later the player breaks down. He's now had to go and have surgery. It's not really been clarified as to which type of injury he had, but obviously it's not going to be great. And the rumours are that he could miss the rest of the season. So it is a blow. It's a blow. He's a good player for us, Zouma, and we're not blessed with tons and tons of centre-backs, are we? Not really. Not good centre-backs anyway. There's rumours that Ogbonna is going to be going back to Italy. It could happen as early as January, although with this news about Zouma, I don't see that they can sanction that unless they just don't think that Ogbonna is suitable enough for the Premier League anymore. Maybe he's lost too much pace. I don't know. We've got Dawson, who we know wanted to go in the summer, but we kept hold of him because he's got some. There's a reason he wants to go back home. I don't know whether it's a bereavement in the family or he's got a member of family that's ill. That's kind of the rumour that's been doing the rounds. Not detailed, but yeah, there is a good reason why Dawson does want to go back home. In fact, he is at home at the moment and he's commuting every day into training every day. So he's living at home at the moment because he needs to be close to home. But I don't know that we're going to be able to let him go in January. I don't think we are. I think there was a deal that was almost done for Dawson with Wolves, but then obviously they've sacked their manager. They've gone and got Lopetegui. I think they've changed direction. So I don't think he's got the options that he had before. His form hasn't been great this season, but then again, you can kind of understand it. You know, if he's up sticks and he's moved back home and he's having to commute to and from all the time, he's not the type of guy to down tools. God no. But there's other things going on with Dawson at the moment. So even if we keep him, he's probably not going to be the type of person that maybe we should be relying on at the moment. He's got too much other stuff going on in his personal life. Then, in addition to that, we've got this really threw me. We've got the news about Gsbk. Now, I think we can all see that Gsbk is deteriorating for West Ham. He started very, very well, I thought. Scored quite a few goals, you know, in the Europa. Scored all different types of goals. He looked really enthusiastic. And as time has worn on, Moyes has kind of reverted back to what he tried to do with Haller, and I think he's been waiting for him to adapt into Moyes' system. It's never going to happen. It looks like the Haller situation is repeating itself all over again. The player looks miserable. He looks really unhappy. And he's linked with a move back to Napoli via journalists that are known to have links with Gsbk. He's spoken to them before, and they're alluding to the fact that he wants to move. Napoli at the moment, obviously, they've got Raspadori, who was his Italian international teammate at Sassuolo. They signed him in the summer. They want to sign Gsbk to partner him. They've got a great striker at the moment called Victor Osimhen. He's fantastic. But again, the rumour is that player is imminently going to be leaving the club in January for a ridiculous fee, 80 million or something like that. And I think Man United are in the running for him. So they're going to be looking for a replacement. And what better replacement? And I know that Gsbk came out before he came here and he said that Mancini, advised him that the Premier League would make him a better player. Well, the Premier League might, but the conditions have got to be right. He's got to be playing in the right system to get the best out of him. I don't think that's happened. I don't think that Mancini's going to have any objection at all to him going back to a team like Napoli, who are probably one of the best teams, most exciting teams in European football at the moment, and partnering up with Raspadori, who is a mainstay now in the Italian national team. And whereas Gsbk, who was, now looks like he's been moved down the pecking order a little bit. He didn't play in the last game, and yeah, this isn't gonna bode well for us. I mean, that would just be devastating if that happened. I can't see them sanctioning that deal. I can't even if they wanted to. I don't see how they can. Can you imagine the mood around the club? It's already bad enough, but if we went and let him go, that would just be shocking because he is a good player. We're not getting the best out of him at all. It's a waste. And in addition to that, just to make matters worse, we all saw the Declan Rice interview, and yes, it was a bit of a leading question, but he answered it fully, and he just took it as another example to tout himself out. I want to go and play. I want to be winning trophies. I want to be playing in the Champions League like all of my mates here in England. That's the captain of our club. Now, there's some people out there that have been saying, Declan Rice is just being honest. You can't ever go at him for being honest. Well, yes, you can. Yes, you can. They're all PR trained. He's got responsibilities outside of the football pitch for West Ham at the moment. He's a team captain. He's a club captain. We're not doing well. His performances on the pitch have been fantastic this season. They have. But his job is to inspire that team. It's not about Declan Rice. It's about the team. And it's not working. We're 1 point above the relegation zone. I'm not placing all of that on Declan Rice's shoulders, but he isn't part of the solution. Whatever's happening, whatever's failing there, I mean, he's backing the manager fully. He came out and he did that. So he's obviously well in favour of whatever David Moyes is trying to do. So he's not part of the solution, and saying stuff like that is completely disrespectful. It is. Everyone knows that Declan Rice is going to get sold in the summer. We know that he's going to get his move. He doesn't have to do that midway through a season when we're 1 point above the relegation zone. He doesn't have to do it. In fact, it's completely wrong to do it. It's not right. So I was really disappointed with him for doing that because that's not going to help our cause in the slightest. It's just not. I love Dec. I genuinely do. But fuck me. Every opportunity he gets, he's harping on about it. We do know, Dec. We know you want to go somewhere better. We know you're too good for us. All right? We get it. But that being the case, maybe they need to have a bit of a rethink when we come back on who the club captain is. Because how can we have our captain being someone that wants to be somewhere else, actively trying to engineer a move somewhere else? Because he'd fuck off in January if someone came in. He wouldn't. He'd leave us in the shit. He would. Because it's all about Declan Rice, okay? And this is going to be a bit of a criticism of him. He showed what he was all about when he dumped Ireland, came to England. As soon as something better comes along, Dec's off, okay? He hasn't got the emotional attachment to West Ham. He can't have. He's completely wrong. And does he deserve his move? Fuck, of course he deserves his move. He does. He's a great player. But stuff like this, I'm sorry, it's wrong. He will get his move anyway, but he's got to concentrate on the job at hand because this will be a blotch on his record. If he captains West Ham and we're in the relegation zone or we end up going down, he's got to take part of the blame for that. That's a blotch on his CV. He's got to try and help dig us out of this shit. And like I say, I'm not saying it's entirely down to him that we're there. His performances have always been good. But a job as a captain is to lift the players around you as well. Doing stuff like that in the public domain isn't going to lift anyone. Morale must be at an all-time fucking low. We're trying to raise a profile of the club and he's just stamping it down by basically making it seem obvious. Oh, well, come to West Ham, you're never going to win anything. I've got to leave. I love West Ham, I'm their captain, but I've got to fuck off to go and win something. How is that going to help us bring players in? He's not helping us. He's only helping Declan Rice. It's not fair. It's not fair. We rescued him from the Chelsea situation. We gave him a chance. And we've built our team around him. We've made tweaks to our team to try and help him develop in the club as well. Because look at him for England. When he plays for England, he sits in front of that back four, does fuck all. He's getting criticism at the moment because all he does is he sits and he passes left and right. That's all he does. Because that's the job of a CDM. More often than not, you know, apart in some games you might be called a deep line playmaker if you're spraying balls about and stuff. But for West Ham, he's far more dynamic. That's the reason he's worth 100 million. He's kind of we've allowed him to grow. We've done that, you know. We've almost sacrificed other players in the team to allow him to grow, and that's the thanks that we fucking get. I know he's helped us. I know he gives 100% every game, but it's a two-way relationship. We've helped him get there. So no, I'm a little bit sore about it, to be honest. He hasn't said anything that we're not aware of. We know he's going in the summer, but it's a bit of a bitter pill to swallow when he just comes out and does that and knowingly puts himself on the front pages the next day. Knowingly knows that snippet is going to go fucking viral on social media. It was played on loop on TalkSport all yesterday afternoon. It was mad. And I was glad with what Simon Jordan said when they was talking about it. And he said, I don't get all the hype around Declan Rice, especially in this World Cup. And he said, there's a rumour going around that Declan Rice might actually make a pass forward. That's the thing. We know he's better than that. But when he goes to these other clubs, he better be prepared to sacrifice an area of the game that I think he enjoys playing. He likes being a progressive player. He likes doing box-to-box. He likes doing surging runs. He can do that at West Ham. He ain't going to be able to do that if he goes to another one of these top clubs. If he goes to Man City, he's going to be sat in front of that back four because as good as Declan Rice is at going forward and carrying the ball, he ain't nowhere near as good as the other fucking players have got in offensive positions. If he goes to carry the ball forward, they'll be looking at him going, what are you doing? Get back. Get back. So, yeah, I don't know. There's rumours that I've heard as well, but they are all just rumours. So I've heard rumours that there's representatives from Real Madrid at the moment talking to West Ham about a January deal, but I've heard loads of other stories as well. So you don't know, but there's definitely something moving. For me, that would be the best scenario. Fuck him off to Spain so we haven't got to have him breaking our hearts twice a year. That would be the best scenario for me if he moved out the country. But again, that is just a rumour, so don't take anything on that. But that is something that I've been told. And I've heard the same thing before. It was in the summer. It never happened. So who knows? Who knows? But yeah, so that's Declan Rice. And why are we in this situation? Why are we in this situation anyway? It seems bonkers, really. When you look back at where we were at sort of October, December last year, we were flying. We were in that top four. We were going really, really well. And we got a few injuries and the wheels fucking came flying off. They came flying off. And we had an opportunity, a really rare opportunity for West Ham to push on and cement ourselves and build on what we'd done, improve on what we'd done the previous year when we got sixth in the league. We could have gone out, invested in January. We had money because we went out and spent 180 million in the summer, and we could have invested. We was only a few games away difference between us getting in that top four. For instance, the last 7 games of that season, we beat one team. We beat Norwich. Who were already relegated. All we had to do was put one little run together. We would have been in that top 4, definitely in the top 6. But we had a massive chance to get in the top 4. You get in the top 4, that elevates you straight away. It does. Loads more money coming in, elevates your profile, makes it easier to go out and get other players in. We would have been in a far better position this year. But whether it was a manager, the board, I don't care who it was a clusterfuck. We didn't do it. We just allowed that season to peter out. Yes, I know we had the European journey, but that just we didn't win it. We didn't win it. That just papered over the cracks. We had a couple of good nights. Great, thanks. And we all enjoyed those nights. But ultimately, look at where it's led us. You know, we're back to where we fucking started, far worse off financially. Because the money that we've spent on these players at the moment, we was all going crazy over the players that we'd brought in. Oh, we've got Paqueta, we've got Gsbk, we've got this. There's real sense going on now. You know, they're not just going out signing anyone. Well, it looks like they fucking are. You know, even with Rob Newman, because these players don't suit David Moyes. David Moyes was the manager. Why have we gone out and bought them? Because we're going to have to go out now and try get rid of him, which was probably going to have to happen anyway, but then go out and get another manager that might be able to come in and do something with them. By which point, morale's going to be at an all-time low. We're going to probably be in the bottom three by the time he goes, because that's the only way they'll sack him. The only way they're going to sack him, we're going to have to wait for him to properly fuck us and drop us into that bottom three. That's the only way those dithering gits in the boardroom are going to do anything. It's the only way. And then what we're going to do, we're going to have to go out and get a disaster recovery manager, Moyes Mark II. He's going to save us from relegation, and then we're going to have to be eternally grateful to this manager who came in, saved us, so we're going to have to stick with him until he inevitably fucking goes stale and messes up again in a few years' time. It's a vicious circle. I don't know when we're ever going to come out of it. So do I blame Declan Rice for looking at this situation, looking at it? Do I blame Gsbk for looking at this situation and thinking, nah, this lot ain't going nowhere? They're not. They're an absolute joke. I don't blame them, because it's right. We are a joke. They're proving it again, the board now. They're dithering, they're sitting on their hands. We're 1 point above the relegation zone. We've got 3 very difficult games when we come back. We're going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait until we lose those 3 games before they'll act. We're going to wait until David Moyes pisses 9 more points down the drain of our season before they will act. I'm sorry, small-time mentality. Small-time mentality for a fucking small-time club with a big stadium. I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely fuming. I really genuinely thought I had it in my head. We were going out there. We were going to try and get another manager in. We were going to push on, because I keep on trying to convince myself that West Ham are something different to what they were before. We're not. We've had a couple of good seasons that have thrown us a little bit. That's all. That's all it is. A couple of decent finishes that have polished what is a fucking turd. This is not. It's not right. We're still not running the right way. We're not. And you want to act like you want to be a big team. You act like a big team. We don't act like a big team. You know, we got the stadium. You know, that's it, and a collection of high value, highly paid superstars that probably don't even want to be there. That's what we've got. Run by a manager who doesn't know what he's fucking doing with anything more than a load of hoofers on the pitch. I mean, how can this work? How can this work? I thought that we'd lay down foundations for when David Moyes moves on, someone else can slot in. But then now I've been led to believe that no, that's probably not the case, because I think David Moyes appointed all these people. I think David Moyes appointed Rob Newman. They're mates. They used to play together. So and that might be why they're looking at not letting David Moyes go, because when David Moyes does go, I think they're all going to go with him. We're going to be left with the sporting director at the top, who does, you know, I don't know what he's going to do. So yeah, I don't know. I'm very fucking frustrated with it at the moment, and I'm only going to get more frustrated as we get closer to the new season. But anyway, look, let's scratch that. That's done for West Ham. Let's quickly run through England. Okay, much more positive, to be quite honest. I know we had that shit show of a game against the USA, but yeah, we got the point. We've gone through top of the group. We battered Wales. We've got a good draw. We've got a good draw as well against Senegal. No game is going to be easy. You've only got to watch the games last night. You know, look at Japan. A lot of these lesser footballing nations, or what used to be lesser footballing nations, they're all good teams. So you've got to be on it, or you're going to get beat, as Spain and Germany have demonstrated when they faced off against Japan. You know, fair play to Japan as well. They did do well. Great second half. Yeah, we've got Senegal. I think we'll beat them. I think we will. But then when you look at the draw beyond that, it looks a little bit scary, because if results go as they should, and the big teams that win their games should go, then our path to the final is likely going to be Senegal, France, Spain, and Brazil. Now look, we've had easy paths through to the final before, and we've screwed it. So I think if you're going to win it, if you want to be the best, you've got to beat the best. And my God, are we going to have to? But yeah, I think for England, I think the most important thing is not to be embarrassed. You don't want to go out, you know, and being beat by Senegal would be embarrassing for England. You know, we're a bigger footballing nation, so we've got to get past them. Beyond that, you know, I hope Southgate just throws caution to the wind and just unleashes some of these players, because it is going to be his last tournament. So why not go for it, mate? Do something a little bit differently to what you've done before. Go for it. I think we can match any of those teams toe-to-toe with the players that we've got. If we go toe-to-toe with France, with Spain, or with Brazil, we can match them, we can beat them. We can. I believe that. We've got the talent to do it. So let's see what happens. I'm quite excited. I'm getting into the World Cup a lot more now. But yeah, I just wish West Ham would stop bringing me down with this fucking news. I wish I could just switch off from it all, because it's really frustrating. I keep on hoping that there's going to be good news coming through. That's what I was hoping for in the World Cup break, that I could be coming to you with something positive, you know. But I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. We're just stuck here in fucking purgatory, waiting for the dreaded restart when we go and face Arsenal on Boxing Day. Get a good seeing to. And then we've got that horrible game at home against Brentford, where if we don't start well, that's going to be it. The crowd are going to be on the team's backs and the board's backs. It's just really depressing, and it weren't needed. And they've done this to themselves. They have. They've done it to themselves. You can't sit on your hands in football. You have to seize opportunities when they're there. We didn't do it in January. We're not doing it now with David Moyes. We just sit and we wait. That is shit. It's shit. But it is what it is. So sorry for the miserable video. It's how I feel. I'm fed up. I'm fed up with it all. Fuck knows what we're going to be greeted with when they come back, because I can't see the mood and the morale having improved. So I don't know. I don't see any way in which you can have liked this video, by the way. But in any case, if you kind of enjoyed it, please drop a thumbs up on the video. Drop a like on the video. And if you're new around here, please subscribe. We will be back. I might do a bit of a live show either on Saturday night. We'll definitely be back on Sunday night after the England game. So we'll do similar to what we did last weekend. We'll do a phone in as well. So we'll do a player ratings, all that sort of thing. Fully interactive live show. So join us for that. That will definitely be on Sunday after the England game. But I might do one before that as well. So I will keep you informed. Yeah, sorry for the doom and gloom, but it's West Ham, innit? Yeah, you heads.